What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders for Thursday, August 13th, I think. Yeah. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Buckle up, everybody. This is my best shot at where I think rosters will be for today's slate. It's 8:20 a.m. Eastern time. I assume there's some nonsense that goes on throughout the day, but this is what I'm giving my shot at for right now. These are my top 10 plays. Ricky Rubio is on the outside looking in today. Who will be my top 10 plays for today? It's time to find out. Alrighty, coming in at number 10, we're going to Jaxson Hayes. Pelicans should be sitting everybody with a pulse. They definitely want to get some of their younger players some additional minutes. I think Hayes looks pretty good. I'm giving him 24 minutes right now. He's the flat minimum as a center on FanDuel. He's 3,600 on DraftKings, 1.9x multiplier on SuperDraft. Nikola Vucevic is going to play. I can't imagine he's going to be going too crazy. I think this is a spot for Jaxson Hayes' activity to shine. Has not been great in the time that he's gotten in the bubble, but previously to the shutdown, I have Jaxson Hayes as like a 1.1 fantasy point per minute guy. Value is going to be everywhere, but getting a guy in the mid threes seems like a great idea to me. I expect him to soak up the time at center for the Pelicans. That should keep Jaxson Hayes in the top 10 or at the very least somewhere around it. All right, coming in number 9, we've got another center. Number 7 on FanDuel, number 13 on DK. It's Jonas Valanciunas. Now, we know the Grizzlies have a ton to play for. They need to win, so they are going for this game. Milwaukee doesn't need to win, probably not going for it the same way. We know Giannis is out. If Milwaukee is playing more of their bench, more guys like, say, Robin Lopez, that's great for Jonas Valanciunas. That is a much better scenario for him. If I give him 26 minutes, that's a projection of 15 points and 12 rebounds. I love it. Huge pace up spot here for the Grizzlies. They've got everything in the world to play for, so I'm going to lean on their starting center. A mid-40s GPP goal looks great for Joe Val. This is a place that I want to spend some of the savings that I'll get using all of the value that exists today. Next up at number 8, I'm going to Trey Burke. This one scares me a little bit. Not totally confident in the minutes projection right now, but I think there's going to be some playing time to go around in Dallas. Number 10 on FanDuel, number 7 on DK. The 1.95x multiplier on SuperDraft is really important. If he does get the minutes, he's the type of guy that you definitely want to double, essentially, his fantasy points. Low 4s in price tag, so I don't feel too weird there. He's going to get some shots up. This is all predicated on Seth Curry not playing. If Seth Curry happens to be ruled in, Trey Burke, I'm definitely going to run Trey Burke's minutes back a bit. But for now, I think he's going to be a large part of the ball handling. I'm assuming Luka Doncic gets, I don't want to say like he doesn't play, but he's not going to play crazy minutes, so I think that they can give a little bit more ball handling duty to Trey Burke. Phoenix is definitely going for it. I think that could be a good thing if this game stays close for Burke. So I'm hoping Trey Burke just wants to shoot a lot today, and at 4,300 or 4,400, I'm willing to take that bet. All right, up next at number 7, we're going back to the Pelicans. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Flat min on FanDuel, 3,700 on DraftKings, gets the 2x multiplier on SuperDraft. Another young guy that should be able to see an increase in minutes for the Pelicans. They're not playing any of their relevant guys. No Brandon Ingram, no Zion Williamson. I can't imagine JJ Redick plays. No Drew Holiday. Josh Hart is questionable, so if he ends up out, and I don't think that it'll matter all that much, I think Alexander Walker gets a lot of run. I expect it to look similar to Summer League when he was jacking shots like crazy. I've got him in for a 24% usage rate. We're talking about a 15-4-4 game. That sounds awesome at essentially the minimum salary. On DraftKings in particular, he hits that 35-point GPP goal about 24% of the time. I love it. Nickeil Alexander-Walker has a decent chance to have a role in the NBA. The Pelicans team just wasn't set up for him now. I hope that he can get a little bit more run in the future, but for today, for Thursday's slate, I think that he has to be in my top 10. At number 6, we're heading to San Antonio. Dejounte Murray, he's 6th on FanDuel, 8th on DraftKings, mid-6s price tag. San Antonio still playing to try to make that play-in game. Odds are pretty low, but I expect Murray to be out there. I'm giving him 30 minutes. He does a little bit of everything, scoring, rebounding, assists. What you're really hoping for are steals. And in a game like this against Utah, with Utah playing none of their legitimate players, or very little of their legitimate players at least, looks like Donovan Mitchell might get a little bit of run, but no Rudy Gobert patrolling the paint. That should help. No Mike Conley as well. You would expect the turnover rate for the Jazz to go up. I think that's music to DeJounte Murray's ears. I like him a little bit more on FanDuel since steals get you the extra point. But with the Spurs essentially going for it, the chances of them making the playoffs are relatively small. But if Murray's getting 30 minutes at a mid-6s price tag with all of the money to go around, I think that he can pop an upside. We're talking just shy of 20% of the time here. I like those odds. Give me Murray. Most people probably assume he would be ranked higher, but for now, number 5, Devin Booker. He's actually 4th on all 3 sites, but because of the way the rest of the people are ranked, it doesn't get sorted that way. So 8,800 on FanDuel is incredible. You should just be playing a ton of Devin Booker. That's just a broken price tag. He's only 3 points shy. His projection is only 3 points shy of his GPP goal. You don't have a choice. You got to play him there. On DraftKings, he's a little bit more expensive, but I don't think the financials will matter all that much. Raw points should carry you here. I'm giving him 38 minutes. It could be 40 or more. The Suns want to win this game, so Booker's going to play a ton. Matchup against Dallas, no Porzingis, but it looks like Luka will be there. That's a benefit for the Suns as well. Just a little bit less rim protection. Booker can get a couple more points, potentially from the free throw line from driving. 1.33 FanDuel points per minute during the restart. He's been incredible so far. I look for it to continue today. If you're paying up, it's hard to find somebody better than Booker. All right, I know that people are going to think this one's crazy for today, but everything that I've seen says Luka Doncic is going to play today. And if that's the case, I'm giving him 32 minutes. I like him a lot then. It's still 10-3 for him on FanDuel, 11-4 on DraftKings. You think those prices are probably problematic. But if I'm assuming he plays 32 minutes, then I'm not super worried about these prices. Value will exist today. It'll exist everywhere. There's just simply too many guys playing big minutes at low salaries. So I'm more worried about the raw points upside for Luka. On 10-3, at 10-3 on FanDuel, he hits his goal 42% of the time. If he only needs 50, I don't need him to play crazy minutes. He's a 1.5 fantasy point per minute guy. The raw points will be what carries you. On SuperDraft, I don't love him because he doesn't get a multiplier. But FanDuel is 100% the spot that you need to roster Luka Doncic. It's really difficult for him to fail unless he simply doesn't play. Just keep a close eye on the news for Dallas. Obviously, if he gets ruled out, he's not going to be the guy for you. Alrighty, number 3. I don't see a way around it. You got to go back to Ja Morant. 7,700 on FanDuel. Much like Luka and Devin Booker, you've got to play him there. There's just so much value on FanDuel right now that the raw points will be great. He's only 3 points shy of that GPP goal. Even at 9K on DraftKings, I still love him. I'm giving him 38 minutes. He could play 40. Memphis needs this one desperately. They're 100% going for it. Milwaukee probably going to be playing like 12, 13 dudes, all like 20 minutes a game. There's definitely no Giannis. Season's on the line for the Grizzlies. They got to go full bore. I've got to go to Ja Morant, one of the best plays of the day. Coming in number 2, my favorite paydown option at center today, that would be Tony Bradley. We're not going to have Rudy Gobert, so we've got Bradley, 3,900 on FanDuel, 3,400 on DraftKings. That's the spot. 1.9x multiplier on SuperDraft. I'm giving him 26 minutes. I think the potential is there for him to play a little bit more. Really all depends on how much time they want to give to Ed Davis. They're playing against San Antonio. It's Jakob Poeltl and basically nobody else relevant at center. Drew Eubanks for sure, but that's not off-putting to Tony Bradley. Dude loves to get on the boards. I'm projecting him for 12 points, 11 rebounds. If he could block a couple shots. There's so many guards on the Spurs that if they're getting into the paint, I think Tony Bradley can do a little bit to deter those shots. pick up a couple blocks. It'll look pretty good. He's just the best pay down option at center today. But is there a better pay up option? Yes, there is. He's coming in at number 1. That would be Deandre Ayton. Keep a close eye on it. You never know if he's just going to skip a corona test. So as long as he takes his tests and shows up at the game, he's my number 1 center at 7,300 on FanDuel. He's my number 2 player overall on DraftKings. 8,100, but he gets the dual eligibility forward center, number 2 on SuperDraft. He's going to play a ton of minutes, every minute they need. Not having Kristaps Porzingis there is a huge boon. He's either going to get a steady diet of Boban Marjanovic, which I think these two guys have slightly different athletic abilities. That would be great for Ayton. Or it's going to be some combination of like Maxi Kleber or guys that aren't actually centers. Ayton needs to take control here. The Suns need to win this game. I'm projecting him for 22 points and 13 rebounds. He hits his GPP goal more than 50% of the time on FanDuel. You've got to have him. He's the best play of the day, in my opinion. Combination of upside and price. It's got to be DeAndre Ayton. Well, guys, those are my top 10 plays for today's slate, Thursday, August 13th. It's going to be a crazy one. Be sure to be glued to Twitter or your news source of choice before each game locks. We're going to have an NBA strategy show today. We're going to have NBA live before lock, taking you right up to tip for the, I believe, 4 p.m. start. So we'll be live 3 to 4. Tune in there. There's going to be a ton of news throughout the day that will constantly be moving these deck chairs around. So hit me up on Twitter at Josh Engleman if you have any questions to see how these guys moved around. I'll be back tomorrow for the final NBA DFS contenders video before we transition to baseball. Best of luck tonight. It's going to be a really fun one. Yeah, we'll call it fun. Good luck. I'll talk to you again in the morning.